What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. I just got back from Orlando, Florida. I was on a work trip and I was thinking, when I get back, I want to show off some of the stuff that we make at work that is for one industry of automotive, but can also be used for all the others. I work for a company called Really Quick Tools. We make innovative PDR tooling, so paintless dent repair. We make a lot of tools that just help techs get the job done quicker, faster, better, and we really take pride in the tools we make. And I was thinking, the stuff that I use in stuff like this, and why not show it off? So all of these tools except for one, we make ourselves, and the other tool we sell on our website and also in person. We have a tool store that you can come in and buy stuff. So only one of these things isn't made by us, but we do sell it for the company. So let me show you guys some of these tools that we make that you can also use. One of the most simpler things we make is this guy. We call it the grip shell. You can put your Milwaukee, DeWalt, Makita M18 batteries in this, and it creates a rubber protection so you can set it on the cars. And this also can be used as a organizer. We sell these guys, we call them the grip shell dividers, and the back, right, there are magnets so you can place it inside, and you use these guys to create organization. So you have a 2 cubby, and then you also get the little one, and now it's a 4 cubby that is magnetic. So if you're taking off something and you want to collect your bolts, you can, and keep them organized. We do this for the hail techs to keep their glue tabs separated and close on the car, so when they're glue pulling and whatnot, everything's just right here. These are also another item we make. This is our 2 ounce and our 4 ounce. They come in different colors. These guys also come in different colors, but these are magnetic bottles. So once again, when guys are fixing dents, they're using glue. These would be filled with alcohol, and they can spray it real quick, set it down, take the glue, the piece of glue stuck on the vehicle, peel it off, and toss it in here for some organization. But these, just being magnetic bottles, are super clutch for a lot of different things, and they're just fun. They're a fun little tool. Now this item is kind of strictly for PDR use, but I could also see it being useful for wrapping or for display purposes for like car shows. So we call this the HDT. It stands for hood, door, trunk, and it's a prop rod. So you can adjust it just like that to make it this length. And what it does is, for when someone is doing some hood repair or door and they need the panel to be nice and sturdy, you don't have to use these things called ratchet ropes. You just put this guy on the latch, and now your panel is sturdy so you can work on it. Now, I feel like this would be better for car shows. Let's say you have an engine bay that you want to show off. A lot of people use like lanyards and stuff, but with this, you can adjust it up and down with the adjustability section, and you can also make it as long as you want. So this would be one way for people to show their hoods, under their hoods or in their trunks, without having a lanyard or something like that. It's just a sturdy rod. But for the most part, this is really going to be for the PDR industry, but I think it's a really cool tool that we make. Now, with it being like this, all you have to do is walk over and release the hood, and this guy pops off. Then you just unthread it, and it's off. So yeah, this is our HDT with the extension. Super cool item that benefits the PDR industry a lot. And boom, there it is. We make a smaller version called the door jammer, which will be for your doors, and we also make a micro for the doors. So we have different sizes with these guys, but this is one of those innovative items that we make. Now this guy we do not make. We just sell. You can buy these on our website, williequicktools.com, or in person at williequicktools. This is a interior trim popper. So you put it under the panel to get to the clip and you pop it up. But what's cool is this guy has a light so you can see underneath the panel and get right to the clip. And these things are just awesome. They're called the inspection wedge. And they're just a nice tool to have if you're gonna be doing interior, or like if you're gonna, let's say, do a bag setup and you gotta run your airline. These things are nice because you can see where the clip is and you can pop it up. But once again, we don't make these, we just sell them, but it's an awesome tool that is for the PDR industry that can be used in different fields. I use this hammer when I'm doing woodworking a lot. So this is called our Crafty, and it's not set up like this. This is two different companies in one. So if you were to buy one, they would come with aluminum heads and polished stainless steel heads. That way you can, it's a blending hammer as well. And then this company called Carbon-Tech sells these threadable heads, which mimic the Craftsman hammer, and they thread straight onto ours. So I use this to have a soft rubber and hard rubber when it comes to woodworking to get things in place. You know, I can hit it and stuff like that. But yeah, this is our Crafty hammer. Then we have our automotive detail side of things, which I'm gonna bring a couple of them that I have here. I have all but one. I'm gonna place on the hood of the Y34 to show you a few things. Here's a few things that we sell for automotive detailing. So this is our waterless quick wash, and if you guys could smell this, it smells like juicy fruit. It's awesome. So you can clean a dusty car without any water. This guy is called the glue pool and prepping release agent, but in theory this is 99 alcohol. So I use this to clean parts before, like paint or not paint, primer or gel coat. Then we have our cut and compound. This guy smells like a pina colada. It's super cool. It smells good. And then we have my favorite thing that I use called Muck Off. This is essentially Goo Gone's arch nemesis. I no longer use anything Goo Gone. I only use Muck Off. Now I use this stuff for the chrome trim on bumpers when I'm doing like fiberglass repair. I used to use 3M adhesive remover or Goo Gone, but I no longer use that stuff. I just use our Muck Off. And we also have one more that is really not for me. Maybe I have a purpose for it, but I haven't found one. It's a cleaner of the circles that they do when they're quoting out hail and inspecting hail. They use markers and circle hail. That stuff cleans off the marker really easily. But these are the four that I always have in my garage. But yeah, a few items that we sell that I use in my everyday life that I want to show off. I'm not getting paid to do this by any means. I just take a lot of pride in where I work, and I wanted to show you guys to get started with this episode. So we're gonna be working on the Y34 and getting more stuff done with the suspension, and also I think the interior, and hopefully if we can get to it, the transmission pan. I don't know about that one yet, but we're gonna see how far we can get with the suspension front and rear and get it going. All right, first things first, I gotta take all of my measurements off the passenger side and mimic them over to the driver's side. So we're gonna be measuring how much the bag is threaded, how much threads are exposed on the shock body itself. And I think I've already done the control arms, toe arms, all that stuff. But if I haven't, I'm gonna take my measurements so I could go on the other side. Recording will be a little bit different over there because it's kind of a tight squeeze, but regardless, we're gonna mimic everything in the rear right to the rear left. right, the front is exactly how I want it, except for this side. That side airs out more and tucks more, and this doesn't tuck as much. So I'm gonna thread the body back down to match everything up, and I'm gonna go ahead and get everything tightened down up front. I think the toe is pretty good from where I got it, and I think I'll just let the alignment shop get it to absolute perfection. After I tighten the front, I'm so excited about this. I can put the interior back together in the rear. Everything's torn out because these strut tower locations, you have to take out the partial shelf, and that means the rear seats, and that means the trim and all of that. So I'm excited to be able to put that back together. What else I want to do is these fenders have some strange cuts in them, and I don't know why. So I want to clean this up because there's a lot of harsh metal poking around, and then I also want to do some shaving in the rear quarter panel because there's also some very harsh metal that I just want to get sanded flat. Because the car is going to get painted, I'm going to be able to do that myself. And yeah, just keep proceeding. I've got fluid coming for the transmission, and I also have a fluid pump coming, and that will enable me to do the transmission pan, but I can't do the transmission pan until I'm ready to get the exhaust back on. And to be able to get the exhaust back on, I gotta start fitting some aero and seeing where everything's gonna sit, because once the exhaust goes back on, it's going to not let the car air out as low as it should, because it gets caught up on the cats. But getting the exhaust redone, that won't be an issue because we're going to be putting the exhaust higher. So just thinking ahead of time so I don't have to work twice as hard. So let's get this front sitting and everything tightened up. Everything's all tightened up in the front. So much more to do, but given that is done, I can address this mess. I know you can't see in there, but the partial shelf is right there, and then the C-pillar trim pieces, the back seat. So let's get all of this back together. So I'm thinking this is where I'm going to cut the bumper. I'm going to leave this on for like a day or so before actually doing it. This just makes the most sense to cut right here because, oh, I don't know, maybe I can cut here. No, I don't want to, no. Okay, yeah, no, I was wondering why I wasn't thinking about doing it there. So on this design here, there is a lot of intricate stuff, like a very small body line, detail line, and it's not as serious up here as it gets down to here, and I don't really want to fine tune that. Maybe I do though. Okay, but also, I know I'm going to section it so it sits on the ground, but I was kind of thinking of also like pushing it forward just a bit to give the car more of a nose, but I don't know. So that's why I'm going to leave this here for a day or so just to walk by it, see if I'm thinking wrong or something like that. But interior, it's back together. That's so cool. I haven't seen that together in, I don't know, 2-3 years, so that's a good feeling right there. Still a bunch to do, and the list just seems like keeps getting longer, but this is progress. This is super awesome progress. I just realized that I also need to put this sway bar back in the rear, so that's fun. But overall, I'm happy with how everything's going. I love the progress so far. Let's see what else we'll do in this video. Could also start messing with side skirts a little bit, but we'll see. All right, it's time to start working on the rear to get everything tightened up and buttoned up. I'm gonna get the car jacked up as soon as I eat some food. It's Friday night. I'm gonna toss on some Divorce Dad Rock and crush out on this thing. So eat and get going. Alright, I think that is it for this episode or video. Got a decent amount done. Bolt checked, everything's tightened down. I got the rear sway bar link in. That was a pain. I did not record any of that because it was just a straight battle. But front's tightened, rear's tightened. I haven't put the rear back down because I do want to do a little bit of sanding on the quarter panels just to kind of flatten some stuff out. We got the fenders cut and not such a hazard anymore, but yes, thank you so much. Little by little with the car. All this stuff is really big steps though, which makes me excited. Once I put the car back on the ground, I can start measuring and outlining the aero, which I'm super excited for. I really am, to start cutting and getting this thing looking like the vision I want it to. With that, the videos will be kind of a little bit slower on the Y34 because fiberglass is just a really tedious thing, and I plan on doing front bumper, side skirts, rear, and the front bumper will probably be the easiest given it's just sectioning it, but side skirts nearly have made those things from scratch and I gotta do 2 of them, and then the rear bumper fits really bad, and you guys will see that when I get to the rear. But so much to come. The aero is the next big step, because once the aero's done, then this thing can be drivable again. So yes, 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 yes. As always, I really appreciate you guys' support with watching the videos and interacting and all of the nice things you guys always have to say. It makes my day. Thank you so much. I can't wait to continue and proceed with this car. It's been so awesome to be working on it again, and I can't wait to continue. So thank you so much for the support and everything along those lines. I hope you guys take care.